on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. So we're going to give everybody a few seconds to get their notifications so they can jump on with us, and then we will get rolling here in 20 or 30 seconds. All right, we've got a few people starting to get on with us. We'll go ahead and get rolling tonight. Obviously, there's a football game going on tonight, so I don't anticipate having a huge crowd tonight. So because of that, I still put an episode together, but not quite as in-depth as we typically do. Dan from Defiance is on YouTube, one of our regulars. Thanks for being here, Dan. George is on. Bill's on. Vic from Iowa. A lot of regulars jumping on with us. So a few people are getting on with us at least that aren't watching the game, but like I said, I expect that tonight. I don't expect to have a huge crowd tonight, but that's the way it goes sometimes, and I understand. But we're still going to do our thing, and like we always do, and hang out like we always do for a little bit on Sunday night. So definitely didn't want to skip you guys just because the football game was on, but so definitely wanted to get it squeezed in yet tonight. As always, comments, questions, go and throw them up there. We will sure try to get to them. Glenn from Minnesota, one of our regulars. Jess and Rico are on. They're always on with us. So thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll get a few cool things done yet tonight as we roll into tonight's episode. And like I said, didn't plan for anything super long tonight because I know a lot of people do want to watch the game, even if they do get on with us. So we'll go ahead and get rolling. Yeah, Glenn says, what game? That's true. Russ Diesel is checking in. Russ is another one of our regulars. Glad you guys are all here with us. Billy from Texas is on with us. So still got some people jumping on with us. That's cool. California just got on with us on YouTube. He's always with us. Glad some of you guys are still hanging in there with us instead of just sticking with the game tonight. I always appreciate it. So anyway, kind of crazy. Tonight basically marks 1 year, which just shocks me. Don from Nashville just jumped on with us. Thanks for being here, Don. February 9th of 2020 was the first time I did one of these. And here we are, February 7th, a year later, and we're still doing it. So, which there again just amazes me that you guys come back every week and hang out. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. And I never in a million years thought it would turn into this. Jay. The station wagon video, Jay. Give me a call after we get done so we can go over the details on that. That third row seat doesn't come on that if you want to give me a call after we get done. William, congratulations on 1 year. Hey, and like I keep telling you guys, this isn't me. The fact that you guys keep coming back and hanging out with me is why it's lasted this long. Lots of comments pouring in. We got more people than I thought. 53 Cornets, Jim. I've got 153 Dodge, I think, out there. If you got a list, you want to give me a call and give me the list of what you need on that. Sandwich, Illinois is on. Joe from Sandwich, Illinois is on with us. Ralph in South Dakota. Cold out there, Ralph. It's cold here today, too. I don't think it broke 15 or 16 here today. Waco, Texas, John's on. Ralph's on. It was his birthday yesterday, so, hey, that's cool. That kind of coincides with what we got going here. Chris from Massachusetts. They're plowing snow in Massachusetts. That's definitely I'm sure you're getting a lot of snow up there. All we had was a few flurries today. But, man, it is cold. It's supposed to be cold all week, so definitely not looking forward to that. But anyway, like I said, kind of what I thought about talking about tonight was kind of recapping the year. I know a lot of you guys are new to us. Lance from Utah is on. Thanks for being here. But the reason this whole deal started a year ago is I just basically did it as a tips on how to find parts. Mike from Missouri just jumped on. Obviously, being in sitting here in my chair and talking to dozens and dozens and dozens of people every single day on car parts, obviously, I learned a lot of what I need from you guys to help me. So that was the entire point of it. And Walter, we don't want to hear about it. 70 degrees in Nevada. I think probably pretty much everybody on here at this point doesn't want to hear that it's 70 degrees there. Yeah, Dan says that means everybody's a year older too. That's kind of the crazy part about it. But I mean, basically that's all this entailed. So much stuff that a lot of people don't think about, as far as how to contact me. That's why we talk about here all the time. Critical. Australia's on with us. Thanks, Australia. George, 50s era Olds antennas. I think you had a 55, if I remember correctly, George. But 55 I've got coming in. I do not have here yet. But stay tuned when it comes in. It'll be on a video as well. But that's all it was. Why is the phone call so important to me? Why are texts and emails? Why do they not work? That type of stuff. What I put in ads, why I put things in ads and the way I write them, how I do pictures, how I put details out there, all that stuff. So you guys have a better understanding of what I'm doing so that we have a better communication. 65 in Florida. So my buddy Lum's on. Thanks for being here, Lum. Glad you made it on the corner, man. I just got to find a car. I need a new car for race week. So Jim from Illinois is on. But yeah, Lum gets on. I get excited about race week. So, but anyway, that's all this thing started as. And then we got into using eBay and Craigslist and Facebook and YouTube and all these other formats. We talked about payment options, PayPal, still using checks or money orders, things like that, Western Union, Walmart to Walmart. That's all this thing started as. That's all it was. That's all I ever figured it was going to be. It was just me trying to throw some tips out there. And that was my entire concept. That's the only thing I had in my brain of trying to do on this thing, was just put the information out there so there was more clarification on your guys' end as the builders versus my end as the parts supplier. That was the entire thing. I mean, that was all it was. And, if you can always go back and catch some of those episodes, or if there's some of that stuff you guys have questions about, using eBay, using Craigslist, things like that, how I use it, as the ad from my advertising side of it versus what you guys are seeing. If you have questions about that, there's some topics that you want to go back and revisit, we can sure pencil those in for some future episodes and retouch on some of that stuff. Jerry's on with us. Randy's on with us. Rico, that's not a 454 valve cover. No, got the old W Motor Chevy valve cover up tonight, 348 409 family. I've got a chrome one and a painted one. We did the chrome one several weeks back. Slapped the painted one up there tonight so it was something kind of cool, something kind of different. So love putting valve covers up. You guys apparently love valve covers. Every time I throw valve covers up, I get a lot of good feedback on them, but they're cool. They're just as great as signs or cans or anything else in my books. So anyway, but that's all it started as. We've pretty much been consistent all year. I think there were 3 Sundays I missed. One, I was just out of town and couldn't do it. One, we lost power. Like the entire town lost power for like 3 days. So we couldn't do it. And I think there was one other one. Oh, the cameras wouldn't work one night. The operating system on the computer was messed up and just couldn't get that one. So other than a couple of snafus, we've pretty much been hanging out consistently for a whole year. Thanks, Jess. Jess is on YouTube, threw up another congrats on a year. Jim Cole, 72 Cadillac parts. Here again, it depends on which one we're talking about, whether we're talking Eldorado or regular car. I don't have any 72 Eldos. I've got a bunch of parts off a 73 Eldo I stripped out, and I'd have to see if I had any 72 regular full-size cars, because I don't remember off the top of my head. So you can always give me a call on that, Jim, a little bit later. 57 J2 parts, nothing at all on 57 J2 stuff, Brad. 72 Chevy Cheyenne Super. Do not have any complete 72 Chevy pickups at all right now, Ralph. What's my favorite rare truck, Lance? That's a good question. Obviously, probably the ones that we're building, or the one that we are building, and then the other one that we're not building is the cab overs. If you guys haven't seen the videos on the cab overs that we've got, those are great trucks. The 40 Ford cab over pickup we're building, there's some videos on that. The 41 Chevy cab over that we bought from Mike Wolf on American Pickers. That's a great truck. My tow truck is an awesome truck. And this spring, I've got to get you guys some videos on my tow truck because we haven't done that yet. And I know you guys have asked about it. My 1950 Chevy 3/4 ton dealership tow truck has stenciled bow ties on the doors. The way the truck sits today is exactly the way it was built in 1958 out of a trade-in pickup. at the Fred Brock Motor Company in Otis, Kansas, who was he was actually a Chevy dealer. It says Fred Brock Motor Company Chevrolet on the door. So that's a great truck too. We'll get you some videos of some of that stuff coming up. Let's see, where are we at here? Vic, loss of power from Derico. I'm not quite sure where we're at on that one. 51 Chevy step-side parts, Joe. I've got a ton of 48 to 53 Chevy trucks, and there are a million different 48 to 53 Chevy trucks. So it just depends on which one you've got and what you need. But I do have a ton of stuff for that 48 to 53 era GM truck. Lance is looking forward to the tow truck video. I got to get that done for you guys this spring. I love that truck. Super excited about it. Amazing story behind it. That truck and I go back a long, long time. I can't wait to bring you the whole story and some cool video on that truck. It's not nice. It's not fancy. It's definitely aged and weathered since 1958, but it's a cool truck. It's sitting in my good shop with all my good cars. It's not near as shiny, and it doesn't have a nice fancy seat in it, and it doesn't have shiny paint, but I think it earned its spot in the good building with all the good stuff. So, Jay, Oldsmobile valve covers with the plugs going through them are awesome. I'm not sure which ones. Oh, the ones where they had the wire loom went right across the top of them. I'm with you on that one, Jay. The early 50s rockets. I've got several of the mid 50s rocket valve covers as well. Don, 69 Cadillac front fenders. I've got two 69 Cadillacs in stock. I think all the fenders are rusty on them, but I would have to double check that. If you want to give me a call after we get done, I can sure get you on my list and check those fenders this week for you. But anyway, that's all. That's all this thing started as, and it's evolved into a lot of. It's evolved into a whole deal every Sunday night, and it's great. The fact that you guys come back every week still amazes me. It really does. But we've started doing Toy Tuesdays, grown out of this every Tuesday night, where we do a memorabilia, automobilia, things like that. This whole program has evolved into, where we've got kind of a set format. We talk about events. We talk about industry news. We grab an old magazine to look at every week. We talk about new inventory. We've kind of got a whole format put together. And that's, because of input from you guys is what has turned this into what it is. So for that, I thank you, because it's all of your feedback and all your support that has done it. I hope on my end that I'm doing a good job for you guys. That's what my concern is. Apparently everybody wants to keep doing this because you all keep coming back every week. So I'm working hard on my end to try to do this for you. I spend an hour to an hour and a half every Saturday night, about 8 or 9 o'clock on Saturday night. I sit down with my format. I mean, I've got a form that I've built. Here it is right here. I've got these built. I print them. I sit here and I make notes. I work this stuff up because I want to do a good job for you guys. The fact that you guys come by and hang out makes me want to do it right. So I'm trying. I'm learning as we go, but I'm trying. So I hope you guys are happy with it, and I hope we can just keep continuing what we're doing. And I'm still amazed that you guys keep coming back with us and hanging out. So awful exciting. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and give us a share out there. If you've got some other friends that may want to come and jump on with us. Because like I keep telling you guys every week, this isn't about me. This doesn't have anything to do with me. This is about all you guys coming by and hanging out. I'm just trying to come up with cool stuff to talk about so we can all have good conversations about what we enjoy. 60 Plymouths. I do not have any 60 Plymouths at all, Harley Ironhead. I've got a 59 four-door, but no 60 Plymouths at all on the place right now. So Jess enjoys all of her stuff. Well, thanks, Jess. That's nice. She's trying to butter me up because she wants a better price on her Nash, I think, is what it amounts to. But that's I think that's where she's going with that. But, of course, we can always give the Nash away on a raffle, too. We had some other people want to give the Nash away on a raffle. So have we discussed the bill right now to move smog exempt up to 83 from 75? Jay, I've not seen anything on that. Is that and I'm not sure if that's some sort of a state deal or a nationwide deal, but that is something to consider. Let's see. Smog bill. I'll try to see if I can find something on that. It's okay, Jess. We're just giving you a hard time. It's really fun to give Jess a bad time. She takes it so well. So she said it's already a done deal, but I don't have any money yet. So I think she's just assumed it's hers and it's going to happen one way or the other. So, which we'll get it figured out, I'm sure. But Thanks. Harley Ironhead says he enjoys the show. And thank you for that. As always, I do appreciate it. Same with Billy on Facebook. Colorado just jumped on. Thanks for being here, Cruz. I try. I mean, I don't know a thing about this. It's only been I've been doing this digital media thing on YouTube and Facebook for 2 years. So it's the entire thing's been a crash course for me. I'm learning as I go. That's why I'm always asking for, ideas, support, help, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of winging it as I go. I had a good friend of mine who taught me a lot of this. Mike Gowns at Gowns Media. The guy's a genius when it comes to this stuff. And he's the one that taught me all the basics and got me going. So I'm extremely grateful to Mike and what he did for me. And can never thank him enough for teaching me this. But this whole digital media thing, I'm 2 years into it. And you guys keep coming back and hanging out with me, which is great. And that's what's made it so much fun, is all the people. So Robert needs to come out and look for GM pickups. Okay, Jay said maybe just Cali on that smog bill. I made a note of it, Jay, to see if it is, because I'm wondering if that is a California deal, because I've not heard anything about it around here or in any of the other trade publications that I try to keep up with on a regular basis. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to start off with. Just give everybody a huge thank you for your support and your help, and we'll keep working on it. We'll keep trucking and having some fun. Invite your friends to come hang out with us, so they can, if they're if they like cars, have them come by and hang out. This whole thing is about the group and the community that we're building on here, talking about it. If there's any of those other topics that, the reason I started this about Craigslist or eBay or Facebook or YouTube or, calls versus text, any of that stuff, if any of you guys ever want to bring that up again, by all means, let me know. We can sure work some more of that in, because that's where it started. And I know a lot of you guys weren't with us back then. So it's good information for not only me, but it helps you, whether you're calling me or anybody else on parts. Let's see. Some more comments popping up. New Zealand's on. Thanks for being here, Clark, in New Zealand. Nate says it keeps getting better. So that's good, because I'm trying to make it better. I'm working at it to make it better. That's why I literally built this form, so that I can have all my notes organized when we get on Sunday night. Good time to call, Matt. That's a great question. About 8 to 8 is the best way to get a hold of me. About the only time to get a hold of me. 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually at the shop by 7, so if it's 7:45 or something, it's not a big deal. But typically around 8 till about 8 at night. If you call me after 8 at night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I just assume you want to pay double or something. I don't know, but typically 8 to 8 is a good rule of thumb to catch me. If you don't catch me, leave me a quick message, and I'll call you back. If you don't leave me a message, I just figure you want to sell me car insurance, or I need my car's extended warranty's expired, or my Google's outdated, or something like that. So if you don't leave me a message, I have no idea who you are, or what I need, or if I need to call you back or not. So if you do miss me, I'm probably on the phone with somebody else. Just leave me a message, and I'll get back with you. Dan says Dan enjoys the show and lots of good information. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it interesting and relevant to what we do on here. So Harley Ironhead, what are the couple of the best builders I have? Depending on if you're looking for something for sale or something that I'm keeping. I've got a few builders that I am keeping for me. I've got, with close to 1,400 vehicles on the ground, there's a lot of stuff out there that are still good builders as well. So kind of depends on what your tastes are, Harley Ironhead. Obviously checking out some of the other videos can give you some ideas of what's here. You can always give me a call and say, I kind of looking for something like this or something like that. And we can go from there. So let's see. Looks like we are caught up. We had kind of a spurt there. 65 F100 just got on from Michigan. Thanks for being here. I know you're one of our regulars. Glad you made it back. Event news. We got some bad news this week for events. John, what happened to the 40s Ford that I rescued? Depends on which one we're talking about. Give me a little more detail on that, John, and I can probably fill you in on whatever happened to that car or truck. Wichita Swap Meet, they pulled the plug on it this week, unfortunately. That's one that I've always looked forward to going to. Actually, this will be the first time since the late 80s that I have not attended that swap meet. I literally have been going that long. That is an indoor event. The people that run Century 2 in Wichita could not give them an answer as to how many people were going to be allowed in, if it was going to be restricted, if it was going to be unrestricted. But they said, we can't move forward and then get to the week of the event and say, oh, you can only have, 200 people in the building. So for 2021, they did cancel the Wichita swap meet. They do have the dates for 22 and 23 already on the calendar. So the swap meet is not dead, but they have pulled the plug for 2021 on the Wichita swap meet, the Sunflower swap meet for charity in Wichita. So that stinks. Like I said, this is going to be the first time in over 30 years that I haven't been to the swap meet, the Wichita swap meet. So let's see what else we got popping up here. Lake of the Ozarks is on. Thanks for being here, Susan. Joe likes the 348 valve cover as well. Obviously, the W-headed Chevy motor is a pretty unique one, so those are cool. So extremely disappointed about the Wichita swap meet, but hey, you got to, I understand if, you can't have everybody come down there and find out you're only going to have, a handful of people allowed into the building. So that's obviously not good for anybody. So they made the decision to go ahead and cancel for the year, which for as bad as it stinks is probably right versus everybody going down and then finding out nobody can get in. But at least they do have dates for 2022 and 2023, so it is not dead. They do a lot of good things with that swap meet. The profits are donated to charity in the Wichita area, so it is a good thing for everybody. It's just, like I said, I wouldn't want to go haul down there, set up, and then find out nobody's going to be allowed in the building either. So Russ from Northern New York's on with us. Oh, John, the 41-4 that I dug out of the trees, that truck is still here. Titles have been a nightmare this year or last year with the state of Kansas. I think I'm getting some of this title stuff straightened out. So as soon as, and that one is on the list to get titled, then I can do something with it. So I do still have it, John. If you're interested in it, give me a call. Hopefully I can get a title done on it here fairly soon, and then I can do something with it. So it's still here. It's still on the property. Haven't touched it really. Brought it home that day and unloaded it, and just been trying to get this paperwork deal straightened out. The state's been kind of a problem to deal with, but I think we're making some headway. My local county treasurer has stepped in and has definitely helped me out and getting things back on track. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed this title thing starts straightening out. I know there's several of you out there, and there's probably a few of you on here. I lost several deals last year because I couldn't get paperwork done because of some issues with the state. So if you're one of them, I apologize, but I'm just finally. I don't have any titles in my hand yet, but I've had some that have been processed. So I'm hoping to actually start getting a few titles back in. So, and that 41 Ford truck is one of them. Ohio's on with us. Outside would be a great alternative, Susan, and that was discussed. The problem is that swap meet was scheduled for mid-March, about 5 weeks away from now. There was a lot of discussion about trying to move it out to an outdoor venue. However, to try to start from scratch in 5 or 6 weeks and put that together and find a place to have it on that short of notice, as well as redoing the entire format, because wherever you had it, you would have to completely revamp the entire format of vendor spaces. Then you would have to take all those vendors and put them in spaces. And some guys have one space, some guys have five. Some of the big guys with reproduction parts come in semi-trailers. So putting that together in 5 or 6 weeks, like I said, although it was discussed on their Facebook page, to do it right, there's just no way to do it. Somebody would have to work on it 20 hours a day for the next 5 weeks to make that happen, and it still might not happen. So like I said, for as much as I hate it, I understand why it happened. John and Rainey are great people, and that's who owns the swap meet, and they really, really bust their butts to put that thing together. And I know, having to make this decision was not what they wanted to do, but unfortunately, when you can't get an answer if they're going to let anybody in the door, you can't proceed. So let's see what else we got popping up. Tim from Pennsylvania is on with us. Clark, do I ship internationally? It depends on what it is. Some things you can, some things you can't. So a lot of guys use some of those exporting houses, which are a nightmare. I've been hung up on one package for almost 2 months that was supposed to go to one of those exporting warehouses, and that warehouse had a bunch of problem with theft. FedEx held the package for fraud, and it's been sitting in FedEx's fraud department for about 6 weeks now. So, it depends on what it is. Typically, if it's small enough to go U.S. Postal Service, shipping internationally is not a huge deal. It just depends on really what it is. I've shipped a lot of vehicles internationally. I had 4 trucks go to Poland a couple years ago, New Zealand, things like that. So it does happen. Takes a lot of work, takes a lot of time. And as long as everybody's on the same page for the amount of effort it takes, it can usually get done. So I don't do a lot of it because of that. But I have done it, and it can be done. So like Susan says, yeah, I totally understand. It's just because she was looking forward to it as well, just like a lot of us in the Midwest were. And like I said, that's a big swap meet. It draws a lot of people in. What is still happening as of right now, Arc City is still a go. I believe in April at the Mid-America Dragway. They did their inaugural one last year. Not huge, but went well and gave them a good foothold to have this one. As far as I know, the Hutch swap meet is still on at the fairgrounds. They have a spring and a fall there. Hutch is a good little swap meet. It just has never really had a good chance to grow. And maybe not having Wichita this year will help the Hutch swap meet solidify its footprint a little bit more, because I've got a feeling it will be a lot bigger this year because of not having Wichita. So a few things going on there. World of Wheels in Kansas City is still a go at the end of March. Looking forward to that. That's another thing I always try to attend. So I did double check that. Just want to get out and do something. Pocono, Pennsylvania just jumped on with us. Thanks for being here, Jay. For one thing, I want to get out and do some more cool videos. Typically by now, at this point at the beginning of February, we would have been, the Holdridge, Nebraska swap meet. We would have been there, done that. There was always a toy show in Dodge City, Kansas. We would have made that. We'd be right around the time to do World of Wheels here in February. So, I'd have all kinds of other cool video stuff I could be sharing with you guys, but I can't get out of here and do anything because you can't always do anything. So definitely want to get out and do some more of that. I like doing different videos of different things, and bringing you guys other automotive related content. Because it's just also, fortunately with the new yard stuff, I've had a lot of stuff here to show you, but I really like mixing other stuff in with it because we're all here because we like cars and trucks and memorabilia. So when I can mix other stuff in with it, that's why I like that a lot more. Let's see. When's Hutch? I actually looked tonight and I could not find anything on it. I think they typically do it in May. I know the fall one is in October, but I think the spring one is typically May, but I could not find that date. And I did look today, but couldn't find it. One of them 53 half-ton 5-window trucks. Jay, I'm not sure what we're talking about on that. You may need to give me a call after we get done to get a few more details on that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that we can get something done, yet this spring, and bring in some different videos and some more cool stuff of what's going on out there. Anyway, tonight we still wanted to do a magazine. It seems like you guys have liked the magazine stuff, so grabbed another one of those. And there again, if you don't like something we start doing, all you got to do is start voicing your guys' opinions, and we can sure change it. So we've done the magazine thing for probably going on a month now, and I like it. I think it's cool. The big problem is it's hard to stay focused on building the episode when I start looking at one of these old car magazines because it keeps sucking me in. So Nate says it's around May 16th, he thinks. I'm sure we're talking about the Hutch swap meet on that because that sounds about right to me as well. So thanks for that, Nate. If Jason's on, also on an OTR report, you can go ahead and toss that up there, Jason, if you're on with us tonight. Jason's our OTR buddy, runs over the road trucker. He usually throws up some cool stuff he's seen throughout the week. So if you're on with us tonight, Jason, go ahead and toss that up there too as well. Tonight, we've got Rods Illustrated from October of 1959. This is another one of the mini magazines, the smaller ones they had, hot rod magazines back in the day. This one kind of stood out as I was flipping through the stack because of that right there. I don't know if anybody can see that, but right there on there, there's an Arden head. So obviously that caught my eye when I saw an Arden head with a supercharger hanging off the front of it. That caught my eye. So anyway, Arden heads, pretty neat pieces in themselves. So I grabbed this one to show you a few things in this issue. Starting off with the car on the cover, they got a great action shot of it right here. And it talks a little bit about this car. George, am I open to the public? No, I'm not open to the public. Appointment only is the only way I have time to do it, really. I ship almost everything, so there's no point in me sitting at the yard certain hours every day because, you know, anybody that's coming through to pick up their parts, they typically call me to schedule anyway. So that's there's no point in me being open all the regular business hours because not only do I have the facility out there, I've got 2 more shops in town that I work out of as well. So not being open to the public gives me the flexibility to do what I need to do to make sure I get parts shipped in a timely manner. I hear about a car that I need to go look at. I've got the flexibility to do all that. So, but as we looked at the magazine or at the article on the cover car on the Scotty's Muffler Shop hot rod, it was just such a neat deal. You know, when I started looking into the article and of course, obviously when I seen the Arden heads, that's what got me excited. So of course I looked at the engine specifications. It's a basic 42 Ford V8 block with the Arden heads, Hillborn injection, and set up in that format. You got to remember, this is 1959, and this car went 1131. So you think, you know, that was flying back in the day, and they weren't happy with the 1131, so they put the McCullough supercharger on it, but they had not, according to the article, they'd not made a hit with the supercharger on it yet. So it's kind of crazy that, you know, this thing was, you know, one of the fastest things around magazine cover car because it was running 1130s, you know, and that's, you can buy cars off the showroom floor that'll do that. And, you know, the Demon was in the sub 10s, and it's obviously not uncommon to see 7 and 8 second street legal cars anymore. So that was pretty cool to just to look back at, you know, at 60 years ago, over 60 years ago, of what technology was and what they were doing with it and what was, you know, earth shattering at the time, really. Another interesting article in this one was give that old Ford a break. Now, in today's world, it's pretty common to be able to get disc brakes for just about anything. You can order a disc brake conversion kit, you know, for about anything you're building anymore, it seems like. You know, and it's not a big deal. You open up the box, you got all the new parts and everything like that. Back then, you know, not only did you not have disc brakes, with the exception of a few experimental stuff. You know, the Tucker had disc brakes. I think Crosley had some stuff with disc brakes, but, you know, nothing common. And if, you know, one thing that we can notice if we look close at this picture, we can see that big fin drum. And anybody that's an old hot rodder is going to recognize that as a Buick drum. Not only were they using the Buick drums on Fords, this is something I didn't know. I know a lot of them went to the Buick drums. What I didn't know was they ran a Chrysler backing plate. They ran Chrysler backing plate with Chrysler guts and a Buick drum. And that's how you upgraded the brakes on your old Fords. I was like, wow, it's just, I mean, talk about having to make it work, trying to figure it out. That's what they were doing back then. Randy's on with us. Thanks for being here, Randy. Dennis said on gasoline. I'm not sure. I didn't remember seeing that in the article. I assume we're talking about that little Roadster with the Arden heads on it in it. But it did not say, let's see if it says in the engine specs about the fuel. No, it doesn't actually even say what it was running for fuel. So don't even know on that one for sure. But the brake article was really interesting to see, you know, what you had to do to make stuff work back in the day. Jess wants to see the cans on the shelf. We'll get to those here in just a second. We'll get the cans at Jess after we get through the magazine. We'll show you a few more things in the magazine. One other car that really kind of stood out in this one was the Jocko's Porting Service Streamliner. You know, back in the day, there again, Streamlining, completely new concept. I've seen this car in the Garlitz Museum several years ago, and that's what they were doing. They were experimenting with streamlining to see if they could get quicker ETs, make these things faster. And it was just so cool. There again, we're going back over 60 years with what we know today about everything we're talking about, the brakes, the streamlining, all this stuff. And we look back at how they were trying to make it work and trying to figure it out back in the day. That's what's so neat about it. In this car on May 31st of 1959 set a new ET record at 8:35. So, and then when we say that set a speed, it set an ET record at 8.35 seconds, and we've got normal street-driven street cars that are running faster than that today. This was on a blown 392 with 8 carbs, so it was a flying back in the day, and that's what they were experimenting with. And now obviously today we're almost, dare I say it, kind of too far the other way, if you ask me. When we look at the Jocko's Porting Service Streamliner, that thing just looks cool. We look today at Funny Car, Pro Stock, NASCAR. If they didn't have stickers on them, we wouldn't even know what they were supposed to be. Pretty much all the funny cars look like a wedge. NASCAR went to the COT on the car tomorrow, and all that stuff just basically became the only difference was the sticker. So when we look back at history at the beginnings of streamlining and aerodynamics, there again, it's something really neat, something super cool that is totally different. Let's see. Larry's still looking for a 40 Chevy. Do not have any complete 40 Chevy trucks at all right now, Larry. What else we have to show you in the magazine? A couple more things that we wanted to catch in here. And it was kind of ironic that we actually had a question about this a little bit earlier, so we definitely want to catch that. If I can find the article here. Since we had a question about J2s a little bit ago, we have an article on overhauling the end pots on the GM. They call them the GM triplets. So kind of ironic that somebody asked about J2 stuff, and we had an article noted tonight from the October 59 issue of Rods Illustrated about working on the GM triplets, as they called it. Oldsmobile had J2, Pontiac had Tri-Power. Cadillac, I believe, came out with 3 deuces in 58. 57, I think Cadillac was still dual quad. Chevy was dual quad. So the triple twos would have been, and then Chevy had the 3 deuces on some of the 348s as well. So when we're talking about J2s, and then we had that article to talking about how they handled them in 1959. Jason didn't make it on with us. Jason, we were talking about you a little bit ago. It was all good, buddy, so it's okay. If you do have an OTR report tonight, go ahead and throw it up there, and we'll tell everybody what you saw. And if not, we'll get your notes next week. So that's right, Dennis. Wind tunnel determined a big part of it. Of course, wind tunnel testing back in the 50s was also pretty new too. So that's what's just neat, just cool to see that type of stuff. Couple other things we want to check out, and like I said, there's just so much cool stuff in here. I don't want to drag it out forever, but couple of classified ads. 79 Tasman, he's late also, but hey, you guys made it. That's all that matters. You're here with us. You're hanging out for a little bit. That's what's important. A couple of classified ads that's really stood out this week. Sell 1940 Ford Coupe, A1 condition, 48 Ford engine, high compression, 39 Ford floor shift, 7,000 miles since rebuilt, body dechromed, in gray primer, electric doors, teardrop taillights, Plymouth bumpers, plate recessed into the trunk lid, lowered 4 inches. $300. Let's see. Jason was off this week. Jason did not run this week, so no OTR report this week. That's okay, Jason. We'll catch you next week because he is heading to Georgia. So maybe Jason will find something cool. Be sure to jump on next week if you're down south. Maybe Jason's going to see something on the eastern seaboard that might interest you. One other one in the classifieds I wanted to show you to talk about tonight. 1956 Plymouth hardtop with near full race 56 Chrysler engine. So, I'm assuming they were running a Hemi, so that'd have been a 354. So that'd have been a pretty good Hemi out of a 56. Johns Pistons mag and 6 Stromberg 97s on it. It's never been down the track yet. $1,100, fresh build. So just bonkers to think about that type of stuff. So let's check out a couple of ads, and then we're going to get into trivia and the raffle and videos and new inventory, and then we're going to sign off. So let's see. The ads we're going to show you tonight. Oh, the back cover. We've all heard about the Motors manuals. You know, Motors books were pretty common back in the day. I'm sure you've seen them on my rack behind me. I've got several of them. Here was the ad where you could order your own Motors repair manual. So that's something kind of cool, something that really pretty common. A lot of us are familiar with seeing. Well, there's some of their ads on when you could order them back in 1959. Inside back cover, the Almquist Manufacturing Company, which we've talked about before. And they have a new headline, free 10-day trial in your own car for their new products. I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So I read through the whole ad trying to find out what the stipulation was, and there wasn't one. So apparently they just figure after you put it on, you're probably not going to take it off and ship it back. So that's the only thing I can figure was their whole mindset behind the free 10-day trial on parts for your car. So anyway, we'll wrap up the magazine for tonight, and we'll move on. We got a few more comments popping up. Susan says lots of goodies down in Georgia and Alabama, so maybe we'll have an interesting OTR report next week. Maybe Jason will find some cool stuff. 79 Tasman likes the valve cover too. We thanks for that. I know you just jumped on late because we've had a lot of comments on that and everybody's liked it. So the valve covers are great. I'm glad you guys love them because I love them. I think they're probably the most undersung hero of memorabilia out there. I guess how does that sound important? The most undersung piece of memorabilia out there in the car world are valve covers. So Ironhead Garage is on with us. Yep, you're late too, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We've had a lot of guys jump on late tonight. No big deal. At least you're here. You're going to spend a little time with us, and that's all that matters. Let's see. Glenn says just keep going. Who cares about the game? And that's fine. We're going to keep rolling along here. We're not done yet. We've still got a few things to cover. Trivia. I got an easy trivia for you tonight. I went out to Dodge City, Kansas last week and stopped by Red Dog's and picked up a batch of oil cans from him. And he had some duplicates, and thankfully Red Dog cut me a deal on a few because I told him I was going to give a couple of them away to you guys. So he worked me on price. I ended up with a couple that I wanted. I got a few spares, and we're going to give you one of those tonight. It's a great can. It's a cardboard can, but it's a super cool can. So excited about that. Demas is on with us. Thanks for being here, Demas. Tonight's can, Phillips 66 Aviation. This is a cardboard can, very nice condition, brand new, never been punched, SAE 40 Type M, but obviously aviation cans are always cool, not quite as common as your regular motor oil can. So tonight's winner is going to get this, and it's going to be an easy one, so I'll have to keep an eye out for the first correct comment that I get fed. As always on these, I go with whoever I see first, and that's the only way I can do it. Sometimes the systems don't cooperate. Sometimes they get held up, but I mean, I'm kind of at their mercy. So on Toy Tuesday last week, I got a new badge. What was the new badge we got last week that was on Toy Tuesday? And also a huge shout out to Red Dog for helping me out on these cans. So we got a few more cool ones to give you guys. So keeping an eye out on comments on that for the winner this week. And we'll get into the raffle. We've talked about doing the raffle. I've had a lot of good feedback from you guys on doing the raffle. So we'll start one tonight. We're going to run it to the end of February, and we'll draw for it. Yep, Jess got it. Flint. Yep. And that's what I figured. I got them coming in now pretty regularly over here too. So Jess is our winner this week, which that's okay. Jess hasn't won. Oh, no, Jess won a couple weeks ago. It had been a few months since she'd won. So I guess she's won twice in the last 4 or 6 weeks, but it had been several months before she won since then. So 79 Tasman says this guy does say leader on it. It says quart and leader on it, but it is a cardboard round can. So that's it's definitely not brand new. Dennis, sorry, buddy, I just missed you coming in right after Jess. So that's I knew that. I figured that was going to be a fairly simple one, and I was going to kind of get covered up on that one. So sorry about that, Dennis. All I can do is go with who feeds me first. Let's see. Oh, Glenn, his first car, 60 El Camino 409 4-speed. That'd have been a pretty good first car, Glenn. Anyway, let's see. On to the raffle of what we want to do. Like I said, we're going to try this. If you guys got thoughts, better ideas, let me know. We've talked about this a little. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate you being a good sport. I hate that. I hate it when I get 2 or 3 of them. Boom, 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 boom. They come in right after each other, and I hate that. I just don't know. I just don't know a better way to do it. So thanks for playing along. Thanks for being a good sport. But we talked about doing a raffle with a better piece of memorabilia every month, and that's what we're going to do. It's going to be $1 a chance. My PayPal account address is on both. I typed it in on both formats. CSE3@cox.net is on my PayPal account, or nobody else's auto@gmail.com. Those 2 email addresses are tied to my PayPal account. I posted those on the post for this video. $1 a chance. If you send me $5, I'm going to put your name in the oil can 5 times. If you send me 10, you get 10. 20, you get 20 chances. I'm going to try to keep this in memorabilia that, at least the value that I feel is valued somewhere between $100 and $200, and keep it to where it's stuff that can be feasibly shipped. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Put ideas. I'm all ears at any time. But that's kind of what I think. I want to keep it to where it's shippable, easily shippable. See how many people want to participate. Obviously, if we do it a couple times and we don't sell enough chances to cover the cost of the piece, we can't keep doing it. If we sell enough chances to cover the cost of the piece, then I can keep putting that back in and reinvesting in other stuff to do. And I think we'll try to do different stuff every month. One month might be a sign. One month might be a collection of oil cans. Maybe we get a half dozen oil cans that are $20 to $30 cans. Versus most of the ones we give away every night are a $10 or $15 can. So maybe we get a collection of cans. The badges that I've got, maybe I go through some of my extra badges and we put a lot of 4 or 5 badges together. We talked about maybe doing one of my extra Shelby American checks. One of the checks from Carol Shelby's company that I've got. Things like that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about the raffle. So that's what I want to do, and that's what we're going to try to do. So, like I said, what I'm going to need from you is if you go in and buy some chances on PayPal, I'm going to need put some note on there about Sunday night chat raffle, and I'm going to have either your name or your handle. I've at least got, if you don't want to give me your full name, I need your handle so we can recognize it. I'm going to need a way to contact you, so if you do win, I can get a hold of if you're not on with us when we draw. And I'm going to need your shipping information. And if you don't want to give me your shipping information until you win, that's fine. But I do have to have a way to contact you if you are the winner. So Terry does not have PayPal. Could you send me? Yeah, absolutely, Terry. No problem whatsoever. And actually, that's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that. And we're going to run them for a month, so you can absolutely send me a check. That's perfect, Terry. Great idea. I'm glad you brought it up because I hadn't even thought about it. So, okay, Jess says Dennis can have the can if he wants it. She said Facebook is actually feeding a little slower tonight than YouTube. So, Dennis, if you want the can, Jess is going to go ahead and give it up for you. So, and that's, which there again, Jess, thanks. I appreciate it. That's what's so great about it on here is everybody on here has been such a good sport as we've been trying to get through these issues when we do have 2 or 3 answers come in at the same time. So, Dennis, if you want to give me a shout after we get done, Jess says you can have it, and we'll fire that off to you. So Ironhead Garage is in. That's great. That's right. 65F100 even says that's cool, Jess. Glad you could do it. So absolutely, if you want to send me a check, like tonight's raffle, we'll start it tonight. We will draw on February 28th for it. And then we will start on the next one for March. So I'm sure what you guys all want to know next. I've got it right here. Can everybody see it? Mobile regular pump plate. This is about 12 inches by 14 inches, single-sided porcelain. This is the one. This is a plate that would have bolted to the front of a gas pump. So that's it. I will post pictures on Facebook, and I'll also post it on YouTube on a note. We'll bring it up every week for the next couple weeks. We'll show it to everybody for the next couple weeks as we're working. Thanks, 79 Tad, and he likes it. So that's what it is. This is an original porcelain pump plate. So this will be the raffle for February, to be given away February 28th. If you would like, and there again, we can use PayPal. The address is on there, dollar chance. You can send me a check. Any of that stuff is perfectly fine with me. So that's what we've got for February. I hope you guys like it. I'll start as things start coming in on PayPal or any checks. I will get that many chances put in the can, and I'll try to confirm who I get payments from every week as we go along. So that's going to be the prize for the very first raffle. So you guys all wanted it. I had a ton of good response to doing the raffle idea. So there it is. There's the first prize. We'll talk about it every week. We'll show it off every week. I'll try to post some pictures of it. And then we're going to send that to somebody here coming up here pretty quick. A couple more comments, then we'll finish up the raffle stuff. Oh, Dennis says ladies first. He tries to be nice. And there, that's great. That's I can't thank you guys enough for but there again, for the most part, car people are courteous and friendly people. And that's what's so great about our hobby. So thanks to both of you for your willingness to participate and be fair with everybody. Let's see. Rico even says, Dennis, you can have it. Rico's Jess's boyfriend. He's trying to give it to Dennis. So, but there again, that's what's so awesome about our community and our group that's here. That's what's so great about it. Let's see. A lot of responses to the sign. Everybody likes it, so that's cool. Hopefully we sell enough chances we can keep this going. It'd be great if we could, like I said, if I don't have something, or the other thing about it is if it keeps going, when I go to a swap meet, I'll try to specifically find something cool for the raffle and do a video on it when we get it, things like that. There's so much we can do with it if you guys like it. George needs PayPal information. George, that's on the post. CSE3@cox.net or nobody else's auto at Gmail are both on my PayPal account. Those are posted on the post too. So when we get done, that's in the text information for this live chat. So let's see. Okay. One other thing on the raffle, and obviously we've had some people from outside the U.S. on tonight. I have no problem with you guys participating. I would love it if you did. The only thing that I may ask is, and this is another reason why I want to try to keep it small, because the shipping, I'm going to factor the shipping into the 48 states on these so that there's no cost to the winner whatsoever. If we get into a deal where we've got to ship it out of the country and it is just going to be astronomical shipping, I may ask for a little bit of help on the shipping. And here's the only reason why, because I want to keep this rolling every month. And if we have to spend a small fortune to ship something out of the country, it's not fair to everybody else that's trying to help support the program. So typically if we keep it to the smaller stuff, I don't think it's going to be a real big deal. And that's another reason why I want to keep it to the smaller stuff, because we can ship it out of the country that way through the postal service. So I hope you guys from out of the U.S. want to play along with us and want to participate. It's just if we got into something really, really weird on shipping, where I may ask for a little bit of help on the freight part of it. Obviously no more, it's obviously shipping to the 48 states is going to be included. So it would just be if there was something really astronomical above that, that was just completely out of whack. If it's a few bucks more, obviously I'm not going to worry about it. So I just want to put that out there as kind of a forewarning that, it's just not fair to everybody else for the longevity of the program if we have to spend all the money to ship one piece out. So anyway, that's what we got going on the raffle. I hope you guys are excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see what we can do with it and where it goes. And if it keeps going, maybe we'll find some really cool stuff. You just never know. But let's try it once or twice. Let's see what happens, and we'll go with it. So, like I said, check is great, and PayPal is easy. Whatever works for you guys. If you wanted to do Western Union, I don't care. Just get me the information. I'll go pick it up, and I'll put that many chances in for you. So all those are great ideas. Thanks for bringing that up, Terry, because I had not even thought about sending me a check. And obviously, since we're going to run these all for 3 or 4 weeks, getting a check here on time shouldn't be a problem. So anyway, excited about that and get that rolling. New inventory this week, pretty thin. The weather was really nice last week, and we knew it was going to get really bad this week. So I tried to get a whole bunch of other work done. The only thing I did pick up last week, I did pick up a short bed. It's a pickup bed trailer, but it is a short bed for a early 50s International, 50 to 55 era L or R Series International. Susan's got to jump on with us, or she's got to go. She's been on with us, but she's got to jump off tonight. So glad you made it, Susan. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you on Toy Tuesday as well. Glad you made it for a while tonight. So that it was a pickup bed trailer that I found, or it is a 50 to 55 era L or R Series International trailer. Good rear fenders, the right one's dented, has an international tailgate on it, and they cut a hole in the back of it, probably to dump grain out of it. So it's got the international tailgate on it. I got like an IN on one side and an AL on the other, and a big cut in the middle, but still might work for a rat rod or something. But that's the only thing I picked up it's the only thing I picked up this week. Our videos this week, since I knew the weather was going to get bad, I went out and got a few things shot. So I'm going to bring you some stuff from the new yard this week, some C10s, some Ford trucks, 64 Comet, 57 Dodge, a square body Chevy, Cadillac. There's a Packard in one of them. So kind of some cool stuff coming up there. 79 Tasman knows what I'm talking about. He just saw those tailgates they hacked for a grain door. So going to be bringing you some of that stuff. Ironhead Garage is an international guy. He's got a chopped 47. Those are cool pickups. Tuesday night, Toy Tuesday, maybe a little late. I've got to go out to Western Kansas and look at some stuff on Tuesday. So we may be running a little late. If for some reason I get really late like we did a week and a half ago on Tuesday, we may have to bump it to Thursday night. But I'm going to try to get it done Tuesday night. I hope I don't get into the situation we got into a couple weeks ago where I was super late getting back on Tuesday night, because that was a miserable mess driving in snow. But and hopefully we'll find something cool on Tuesday as well. So no, I'm drinking water tonight. That's it. Definitely can't drink Mountain Dew at 8 o'clock at night. I won't sleep at all. So now tomorrow morning that will be full of Mountain Dew. That I can assure you. But tonight it's just water. I do so much. When I'm sitting here talking so much, I got to have water to keep my throat from drying out on me. So, but I guess that's kind of what we got for tonight. Wow, we still ended up running almost an hour. That kind of surprises me. I really anticipated a tiny crowd and a quick in and out tonight. So I really appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out with the football game and everything going on. But I'm glad you did. I'm just surprised that this many of you did and hung out tonight. So, but there again, it means a lot to me. And the kind words and the comments and the support from you guys is what has pushed this thing to a whole year of this. They're getting longer. I hope they're getting better. Jason said when he's got to run all night, he's drinking Mountain Dew as well. So that's what I start the day out with. And that's what's so great about it. And I can't thank you guys enough, because this is not me. This has nothing to do with me. This is about you guys and the community that is jumping on here and hanging out because we love old cars. I'm just the lucky one that gets to sit here and do it. So that's what's exciting about it. I love the fact that you guys come back every week and we can do this every week. Like I said, I just never in a million years and would have expected this. It's just crazy, but it's fun. I'm glad we do it. And I'm glad you guys are here with me doing it. Because it would be pretty boring without you, really. It wouldn't, it could be pretty quick and wouldn't last very long. 79 Tasman, he wasn't even watching the game. He was watching a movie, and that's why he ended up getting on late with us. So Tim kind of feels the same way. He's not a football guy either. So, and I'm glad you guys are here with me. It's like I said, it amazes me. It really does. And I thank all of you, and I thank everybody that has helped build this to what it is. And it continues to grow and it continues to move forward. And that's what's exciting. And it's because of you guys. I take your comments. especially when we're on. There's no way for me to catch all the comments after the fact between YouTube and Facebook. And then, on Facebook, I'm admin on like 7 different pages with people I help out. So catching the comments after the fact, I catch them sometimes, but not all the time. But I do, obviously, when we're on here, I try to catch as many as I can. I miss a few, but, I try to catch them all. I've gotten great ideas from you. Your guys' input is what has helped turning this into something. That's your guys' input has brought the magazines in, the raffles in, all this different stuff. Let's see. A couple more things popping up here. 60 to 66 GM 4-wheel drives, nothing there at all. So a few more kind comments from my buddy Bill and a few other people. So thanks. There again, it's not me. It is absolutely not me. It's the fact that you guys come by, participate, jump in, engage. That's what makes it fun. And I just try to put some ideas together to talk about. So I do thank each and every one of you that has helped make this what it has become and what it has become and where it's going with the new ideas that we're getting amongst all of us to really make this cool. So we'll see how the raffle works out. That's our new thing for tonight. We're going to start the raffle. I hope you guys like the mobile sign. I thought it was kind of a cool piece. And we'll see if it works out. I'd love to keep that going too. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot, Jess. I forgot, Jess, about the cans. We'll show you the cans real quick. This is a Falcon motor oil metal can, Oklahoma company. This is a fairly common can. It had Falcons on both sides. These are not extremely tough to find. These are a $30 can, $35 can for a decent one. But they're a great looking can. So, not one that breaks the bank, but a super cool can and a great addition to any collection. We'll catch the other can real quick before we sign off. This is a very rare can. And this one's kind of rough. It is an extremely rare can. This is an alkaline. You can barely make it out, but it was an alkaline can. Obviously, a lot of fading on it. This side's even a little rougher, but it had an elk on it. Paraffin, said, alkaline paraffin base, Elk City, Oklahoma, from the Consumer Oil and Grease Company. So that's not a very common can, not the best can by any means, but a really hard to find can. My daughter was super excited when she found that. We actually got that at the Wichita swap meet last year. She spotted it from about 50 feet away and hightailed it over there to grab it because I didn't even see it. She was so excited to find an alkaline can. So cool can, not the best, but hard to find and glad to have one even in this condition in the collection. Let's see. Yeah, Charlie, we've asked for the share a few times tonight. So yeah, always love the shares when you guys can let your friends know about what we've got going on. Let's see, what else do we have on here? Ola Subami's on. That's a weird name. I think you've been on this before, but I can't hardly pronounce that. 79 Tasman likes the elk can. Ironhead Garage, never seen him. Craig's on with us. He's liking the video. So thanks a lot, everybody. I really appreciate all the support. And that's pretty much what I've got for tonight. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for turning this into what it has been and what it has become. Thanks for your support to take this into the future and see what we can do. And I'm just excited about where we're going to go with it. It's neat. We've got such a great group on here, and it's just a great group of people that make this what it is. So we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap up. I'll keep an eye on comments here for a few more seconds. Yeah, because we've got a few more popping up here. Yeah, 79 Tasman has seen the Falcon can before, but not the elk can. And that's right. The Falcon can is not extremely rare. They're an older metal can with great graphics, so you don't see them on every street corner, but they're not difficult to find, and they're not a super high dollar can. So, but it is a great can to add to any collection. Anyway, and that's about all I've got for tonight. So keep an eye out for the last few comments. If anything else is popping up, there's always one or two as soon as I hit end that pop up. So we'll keep an eye on those. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you this week on the new videos I just told you about. We'll be live hopefully Tuesday night, maybe a little bit later, but I definitely would like to try to get it done on Tuesday night. Got some new toys. Actually, got some new toys that Rico found me. We'll try to catch those on Tuesday night. Rico sent me some pictures from an auction last weekend, and he picked up a couple of toys for me, so we may throw those in on Tuesday night. Vic says, thanks. He'll see us next week. Ironhead Garage, 65 F100, all the same thing. We'll see everybody next week. And that's what I've been hanging out with the group we've built here, and that's what's making it fun. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned. Catch the other videos this week, and we will see you live Tuesday night, and definitely want to see you back here next Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time for Sunday Night Live Chat. Thanks for watching, everybody.